Love the savage glory of Vikings, the brutal battles, power struggles, and enough blood to fill a longship? Well, sharpen your axe, because you're about to dive into 10 historical series that carry the same raw power, epic scale, and warrior spirit that made Ragnar Lothbrok a legend. From warlords to warriors, kings to killers, this countdown will drag you through the mud, the blood, and the betrayal of the greatest history-inspired carnage on screen. Hit that subscribe button, grab your shield, and let's ride into battle.
Mich haben sie in Rom gelehrt, meine Familie zu vergessen, meine Leute zu verachten, meine Art zu leben. Ich war einer von ihnen. Weil ich weiß, wie sie leben, werdet ihr wissen, wie man sie tötet.
This one hits like a Roman javelin to the chest. Netflix's Barbarians reimagines one of history's most shocking military upsets, the Battle of Teutoburg Forest. A young Germanic boy, stolen and raised by Roman oppressors, returns years later, not as a son of Rome, but as its reckoning. He orchestrates an ambush that obliterates 3 Roman legions in a forest dripping with betrayal. The first season is a tightly wound, blood-soaked arrow to the heart. 6 explosive episodes packed with betrayal, brutal battles, and bold storytelling. But it's the second season that truly sharpens the blade. We get deeper character arcs, new faces, and a theme of reckoning that echoes like war drums through every episode. And if you're worried it dials back on the savagery, don't be. Barbarians doesn't just entertain, it educates and eviscerates.
Temple is not safe for you or the Grail. This will be the death of you.
The armies of God will be reborn.
What does this mean, my lord?
It means war.
Welcome to the bloody twilight of the Knights Templar. Nightfall throws you into the crumbling ruins of the Crusades, where holy war meets royal betrayal. Set in 1306, the series follows Landry, a headstrong yet noble Templar knight, who hears whispers that the Holy Grail may still exist. But it's not just about relics. It's about loyalty, corruption, and kingdoms crumbling under the weight of secrets. As the Templars fight to reclaim their purpose, they find themselves betrayed by the very powers they swore to protect. The King of France becomes their enemy, the Church becomes a battlefield, and behind every sword clash is the slow unraveling of one of history's most secretive warrior orders. If you love conspiracies, crusades, and knights who bleed for more than just honor, Nightfall is your next obsession. But don't lower your sword yet, because next, we're sailing into the lawless seas where pirates rule and loyalty is as fickle as the tide.
Right now, good men are not what the moment requires. Right now, the time calls for dark men to do dark things.
Before there was Treasure Island, there was Blood on the Waves. Black Sails is a raw, unflinching look at the golden age of piracy, and it pulls no punches. Set in 1715, it follows Captain Flint, a mastermind pirate fighting to protect the haven of New Providence Island from collapsing into chaos. It's a place where survival means striking first and trusting no one. This isn't your Jack Sparrow fantasy. Black Sails is a political, gritty, and ruthlessly grounded series where betrayal waits at every port and cannonballs aren't the only things ripping people apart. Flint allies with Eleanor Guthrie, a savvy merchant queenpin, but their alliance is fragile, challenged by rival captains, intrusive fathers, and a fast-talking sailor named John Silver, who may just outwit them all. Next, we're sailing straight into the age of Norse vengeance, with a legacy written in fire. Vikings Valhalla is up next. Centuries have passed since Ragnar and Lagertha carved their names into legend, but their blood still runs hot in Vikings Valhalla. This is not just a sequel, it's a rebirth. Set in the early 11th century, the show throws us into a world where the once glorious Viking age is teetering on the edge of extinction, and yet the war drums never stop. It all begins with the St. Brace's Day Massacre, a real historical event that sparks a firestorm of revenge. Enter Leif Erikson, the son of Eric the Red, and his fierce sister, Freydis. Alongside the ambitious prince Harold Sigurdsson, they blaze a path through betrayal, conquest, and a fight for survival. But this isn't just about bloodshed, it's about identity. Pagan beliefs clash with Christianity, and the Vikings must choose, evolve or die. Valhalla doesn't hold back. Sword fights are brutal, the stakes are high, and loyalty is tested with every breath. From frozen fjords to the unforgiving deserts of the American West, our next pick swaps the longship for a wagon train, but the blood still flows just as thick.
We are the chosen!
Why do you people have so much hunger to kill?
Fear.
Set in 1857, American Primeval takes us to a raw, rugged frontier where civilization is just a rumor and survival is a daily blood pact. This isn't your polished, romanticized Old West. This is America on the edge of madness. Sarah Rowell and her son Devin are just trying to reunite with her husband in Crooks Springs, Utah, but fate throws them into the fire. Mormon militias, bandits, and a nation teetering on civil war turn the land into a no-man's land of chaos. The series doesn't hold back. Tension seeps through every scene like sweat through a dusty shirt. What makes American Primeval stand out? It's not just the blood or bullets. It's the way it captures the fear and brutality of a time when everyone was a predator or prey. With cinematic grit, haunting performances, and explosive violence, this series isn't just historical, it's primordial. Ready to trade dust for snow? Because number 5 takes us to the icy Canadian wilderness, where beards are thick, blood runs hot, and betrayal is colder than a northern winter.
Oh, we go north to the ice.
And if it costs you your life,
I'm already dead. This is my resurrection.
Before Canada had maple syrup and politeness, it had murder, fur, and Declan Harp. In Frontier, Jason Momoa goes full savage as a half-Irish, half-Indigenous outlaw with a vendetta against the corrupt Hudson's Bay Company, the real-life empire that once ruled the North with an iron grip and a red coat. Set in the 18th century, the show plunges into a world of fur trading where every pelt could buy power and every handshake could be a death sentence. Harp isn't your typical hero. He's brutal, cunning, and driven by a need for justice, or vengeance, or maybe both. What makes Frontier a blood-soaked masterpiece isn't just the axe-to-skull action or the wilderness warfare, it's the political chess game behind it all. Everyone's scheming: British officers, native tribes, French traders, and opportunistic rogues. It's gritty, it's cold, and it's absolutely unmissable. If you thought the northern wilderness was deadly, wait till you see the dragons, backstabbing royals, and a throne built from blades. Stay with us, because number 4 is pure fire.
The Targaryen who sits the Iron Throne is not just a king or a queen. They are a protector of the realm.
If Vikings gave us blood and brotherhood, House of the Dragon cranks it up with dragonfire and dynastic destruction. Set nearly 200 years before Game of Thrones, this prequel throws us into the golden age of the Targaryens, a time when they ruled Westeros with fire-breathing beasts and iron-fisted rule. But as King Viserys makes the bold choice to name his daughter Rhaenyra as heir, the court erupts in whispers, and family ties begin to splinter. The result? A slow-burning civil war known as the Dance of the Dragons that will rip the kingdom apart. This series doesn't just offer jaw-dropping action and gory battles, it serves political chess moves with deadly consequences. If you're into power plays laced with poison and pyres, this is one inferno you won't want to miss. Before we charge into the final 3, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and tell us in the comments which of these series had your heart racing the most. Or better yet, got a favorite blood-soaked moment we missed? Let us know. Now sharpen that sword. It's time for the big leagues.
Whatever happens to my people, it happens because we choose for it. We decide our fate.
Few shows go as unapologetically savage and visceral as Spartacus. This isn't just blood, this is opera-level carnage, a slow-motion ballet of blades and betrayal. The series kicks off with a Thracian warrior betrayed by the Romans, separated from his wife, and sold into slavery. But Spartacus doesn't break. He rises, proving himself as a gladiator, a symbol of rebellion, and eventually, a legend. His battles inside the arena are brutal, but the real war is outside, as he builds an army of escaped slaves to challenge the might of Rome. With its gritty visuals, stylized action, and unrelenting storytelling, Spartacus grabs you by the throat and never lets go. It's a show where freedom has a cost, and that cost is paid in blood.
War is coming.
Forget medieval Europe for a moment. Shogun takes us to feudal Japan, where the blade is swift and honor is everything. British pilot John Blackthorne crash lands into a world he barely understands: political mind games, religious tension, and the iron will of samurai warlords. Under the mentorship of the formidable Lord Toranaga, Blackthorne becomes a pawn in a much larger chessboard of power, tradition, and warfare. But this isn't just about battles with swords. It's about the battle of cultures, the inner conflict of a man torn between his identity and a strange new world. The cinematography is gorgeous. The storytelling is patient, but devastating. And every decision feels like it could spark war. Shogun is a slow burn, but when it ignites, it explodes. If Vikings showed you how to conquer with axes, Shogun teaches you to conquer with silence, honor, and a katana.
Send me your champion!
At number 1, we go back, way back, to one of the most legendary and blood-soaked rise-to-power stories ever told, House of David. Set in ancient Israel, this epic charts the rise of David, a young shepherd boy anointed by the prophet Samuel to become king. But this isn't a sanitized Sunday school version. This is biblical history with bite. Treachery, prophecy, warfare, and divine destiny all collide as King Saul spirals into paranoia, and David's ascent becomes unstoppable. From slaying giants to surviving assassination plots, David's journey is a masterclass in leadership, resilience, and rebellion. It's not just a spiritual saga, it's a gritty tale of a man chosen by God, fighting enemies outside and demons within.
You have the heart of a lion. What do lions do? They roar.